Retail banking. What is the nature and the business model of retail banking? Fundamentally, all a bank does is it takes money from people who've got an excess and it lends that money to people who need it. They've got a shortage of capital. That's fundamentally what retail bank is doing. So they are borrowing from depositors or they're issuing bonds and they pay those people they borrow from an interest rate, but then they take that money and they lend it to their customers or to their clients at a higher interest rate. Let's say they lend it to their customers or their clients at 12%, but they've borrowed that money from their depositors at, let's say, 5%. They have what we call, in that example, an interest margin of 7%. What's happened in the recent past is that because companies were finding that the interest margin was strongly influenced by whether people were borrowing or not borrowing and the economic cycle, a lot of the banks have opted to try and increase their fee income. So they try and charge more by way of fees because fees tend to be more stable regardless of the economic cycle. Banks also need a geographic footprint in terms of the location, the number, and the spread of their branches. Even though with internet banking, it's becoming less of an issue, they have to consider their product type and mix. Are they going to do home loans, car loans, personal loans? What are the margins related to those? Or are they only going to do short-term loans, microloans? What is the level of employee costs? Because employee costs tend to be one of the largest costs in banking, and the efficiency considerations they need to take into account there. What are the level of information technology costs? Again, very, very large. How do they manage their impairments, what we call bad debts, when they lend money to people and those people don't pay them back? Critical part of the business model. And then how do they deploy technology to limit their costs and reduce their branch network? All of these are key considerations when you take a look at a traditional retail banking business model.